Welcome back to the channel. This right here is the 2026 Hyundai IONIQ 9. This is Hyundai's newest entry into its fully electric lineup in the form of a 3-row. It's based off the same electric platform as the IONIQ 5 and the IONIQ 6, but this one has a ton of space. They've really thought about the road trip here, in my opinion. There are so many features, and it is so incredibly easy to use. So I'm going to take you on an exterior tour, an interior tour, and of course POV drive. Let me pick up this camera. Let's get into it. All right, so here we go. Let's get closer a little bit to this Hyundai IONIQ 9, a really subjective looking exterior, I'll say, because some people this week have told me that they absolutely hate it. Others, they absolutely love it. I actually kind of like it. It's really grown on me. So let's start with the front end. So you have these really cool daytime running LEDs. It's all pixelated in the IONIQ kind of format that we see all the other ones. So it's really cool. If you're seeing like the headlights in the B-roll do like the little animatronic or animation thing, it's not actually happening in real life. They're static, but you got really nice main headlights right here as well. Look really cool, again with the pixel theme. You've got this sensor housing all along right here. Really cool how they've decided to hide the sensors. And you also have battery cooling right down here, so that's all really good. Parking sensors, front facing camera. This is the all-wheel drive plus calligraphy, so we have it like fully loaded. And yeah, so I've got all the nice bells and whistles. It's gonna be hard to complain. We do have a front trunk. It's interesting to access. You can do it from the inside. There is a button, but at the time of filming, I have not found a button on the exterior to open it, but it's fine. It's not a ton of space, but it is a decent amount of space here. Also, let me know what color you think this is, because this is the gray color, but like when I'm on camera or when it hits the sun, it's like a really grayish green. It's so interesting. It kind of makes me feel like I'm colorblind sometimes, because I can't tell if it's actually gray or green, but it's interesting. So let's take a look at what is powering this IONIQ 9. So like I said in the beginning of the video, this IONIQ 9 is powered by Hyundai's eGMP platform, which we see in the IONIQ 5 and the IONIQ 6, and of course now in the IONIQ 9. The one I'm testing has a 110.3 kilowatt hour battery, and I've got good news for you. No matter what trim you decide to get of the IONIQ 9, they all will be capable of 500 to 539 kilometers at 100% of charge. For this one, if you can find yourself a 350 kilowatt charger, you will be able to go from 10 to 80% in just 24 minutes. And this is also powered by NACS, which means some of the Tesla superchargers around North America, and especially here in Canada, are going to now be available for you to charge your EV. Really cool. Now, as for power, this is the dual motor all-wheel drive plus, so I've got 422 horsepower, 516 pound-feet of torque. Yeah, it's really fast. And as for the price, this one is the calligraphy, got all the bells and whistles, as good as it comes here in Canada. It's right around that $81,500 Canadian. So you are going to pay quite a price for it, but you do get a lot of space and quite a lot of features. And we'll quickly now move on to the side profile, and you can see that this is a very aerodynamic shape. You kind of saw that in the front, but you can really see it by the pillars there, how it's not like a downslope like the Kia EV9. The Kia EV9 is a lot more boxy, so I feel like that's a more draggy car. I think Hyundai actually took some time here and really put time into figuring out a nice looking design that's also aerodynamic, and I feel like they've done that. These tires are really big as well. We do have the noise canceling tires as well. They try to do everything to make the cabin really quiet. And we also get these door handles, which are nice, with the IONIQ 9 right there. I'm never fighting with them or anything. I don't know how they'll do in the winter because, well, it's summer and it's hopefully never going to freezing rain here. But that's really cool. So let's hop on to the back really quick, where you kind of get an interesting view. I'm still at the moment not sure how I feel about it. I think overall I could live with this. This is not a terrible looking rear end. It's actually grown on me quite a bit during the week. I started off not liking it at all. I'm ending the week here by, feeling pretty good about it. I do not dislike it. I like how you have these taillights go up and then your big brake light bars right there as well. It does have a rear wiper, which is nice and tucked up under here, as well as the camera sensor is here for the digital rearview mirror is nice too. We also have digital parking sensors and stuff like that. So all that is good and really high quality, as you'd expect from a fully loaded Hyundai. So let's check out where I started the video in the actual trunk. Yes, I fit in here. Yes, I actually came out of there. That wasn't just for the bit. I actually fit in it just like this. I don't even need to put these seats down, but you can, and you can actually do it with just these buttons. It's all power operated, so you don't have to do anything. And these seats can also recline if you have somebody sitting in there. And this is how I was operating it. I was actually holding this button to open and close it. You do have a little storage underneath the floor here, as well as like you can insert the privacy screen if you want to just lower this third row. I like having it up. I think it looks really cool. And yeah, you could lower it, have the privacy screen, and have like a big like Costco order in here, no problem. And if you wanted to put like a bike or some type of surfboard or something, you could lower, you know, one half of the car or something, one half of the inside, and just have all this space. It's a really good thing to have. We also do have a 125 volt outlet right here, which is really cool. And yeah, hard to complain about it. Hard to complain about space in this thing. Design is always going to be subjective. I feel like this versus the Kia EV9, I like the IONIQ 9 a lot more. I think the design is better. I like the drag reduction a lot more. And I feel like I have probably about the same amount of space, but it just feels like the IONIQ is just more like, if you've got a big family, or if you've got a family that plays a lot of sports, you need a lot of space, this is the one. This is the one I'm going with. But there's definitely more to go over, so let's hop on the interior and check that out. All right, so first up, as usual, is the rear. Maybe you guys didn't like the exterior of the IONIQ 9, but let me show you the interior. So look at this. First of all, we have these nice door handles. IONIQ 9 right there, very nice. Open the door here. You can see on the door sill here, we have IONIQ 9 written. Bose speaker right over here. Then we also have privacy screens right here, which are very nice. We have a little bit of ambient lighting, you can kind of see it. I also really like this texture as well. And we've got like these circular little door handles here. And then of course we have a full-on recliner here in the front, which is really cool. Look how much that comes out. I mean, that's almost a bed level. Here we go, you could take it down too, and obviously the seat goes all the way back. It's fully power operated, same thing as the other one, but my baby seat is obviously in that one. Also, seats fold forward, you can hop inside that third row. It's actually quite slow to do so, but look, I mean, I could get in probably a little bit before that happens, but so I'll show you the third row first actually, just because we already have that open. Let me hop back here. You can see how easy that is to do, right? And when we're back here, we can obviously recline these seats, which are really cool. With that button right there, we have USB-C, 2 cup holders for the right side, a decent amount of leg room, although I do have my daughter's baby seat pushed up all the way, so like closest to the passenger, but like I could do it back here, no problem. I mean, I really could. And the seats are really comfortable as well. We also have vents back here for the cooling, so that's gonna be really comfortable, and a nice, decently sized window. So like, you know, you have a good view, and there's speakers back here as well. Over on my side, the side I'm sitting on, I have USB-C and one more little cup holder right here, which is really nice. So yeah, like a really decent place. I mean, this is like the road trip warrior. I mean, I'm gonna say it a lot probably throughout this, but it really is. So let me get out here and fold this seat back up, show you how easy it is to do that. So for that, what we're gonna do is we're just gonna press that button one more time. The seat doesn't actually, I don't know if it remembers where it was before. It doesn't, so what I gotta do is I'll just pull it back a little bit more here. And here we go. All right, so let's sit on inside. And these captain chairs are like supremely comfortable, and I love the way that door closes, nice and quiet. So once you're back here, you know, we do have a little armrest right here as well. That's like fully adjustable, very nice. These headrests are super nice. They remind me of like the Range Rover a little bit. The way they kind of fold around your head. These seats are just super comfortable. I mean, these, in some cars, these could be driver's seats. I mean, honestly, it's really good. You got a nice little bit of storage right here. Look at all of the leg room that I have, and the seat's fully back, right? So this is just really nice. And then also, what you also have back here is the HVAC control system for the rear, right? So I could have my heated seats on. I could also have my ventilated seats on. I can control it from here. It's automatic if I want. I've also got like a little snack drawer should you want. The front passenger can also put some stuff in there, and you can kind of pull it back. Also, you can open this console from here and say, like, you know, you want something and you have a seatbelt on. The front passenger can actually, or the front driver or the front passenger can actually move this whole center console right back. You can see the cutout. I'll show you when we go up front how to do it. But You can see the cutouts right there. You can just move this whole system back, and it's really easy to just grab what's inside of there. Really cool, and it also opens from the front. If you don't have a baby seat and say you want to like take a nap back here or something, you could move this seat all the way forwards in order to get that footrest to work. Like, I don't think it'll work too well here just because I don't have that much. Yes, you know, this is going to break my ankles here. So, but I could recline it a lot more, obviously, but I could absolutely do it in the front seat. So I'll show you that. And then, yeah, if you are in this seat, you can recline this, and then you can bring up your little recliner. Really, really cool. And then you get a really nice, massive sunroof, which is really cool looking. There's a lot of light in this car, and this is not that cheap stuff. You know, it's not. It looks like it's that basic plastic that I usually complain about that Hyundai does. No, this is a suede liner. Really, really good. Really, really impressive here from Hyundai. I really, really like it back here, but there's a bit more to see up front. So let's hop up there. All right, so as usual, last but not least is the front seat. You can see like the windows here are like, they're like a right or like a left triangle, or like just like a straight up triangle. And it's kind of an interesting shape when you look at it from the interior. We kind of got like this circle here with these circular door handles. This is the massage button. This is the memory seat button right here. Standard window and door controls, no problem. The Bose sound system, the IONIQ speaker, and then we have like a bunch of controls. This is for the bolstering and the different lumbar support. Then if I press this, it will recline the seat and kind of lower it and stuff. So that way you can have like a really relaxing time in here. So let's actually just hop in. Very easy to do, super comfortable. I just slide right in the seat, no problem at all. Really nice steering wheel. Now this is the black, so like the kind of the base interior, but you can get it in a white. I didn't have, like, that was an option this week, but I didn't get it. But this one's fine. Honestly, with kids, I prefer the black, and I actually like the look of it too. Looks really nice. This steering wheel reminds me a lot of the Range Rover steering wheels now, but we do have physical buttons. Hyundai has not abandoned the course here. Physical buttons for our media controls and our phone controls, and also our cruise control, all physical buttons. Over all the way on the left-hand side here, I have the button for my charge port. I can open the front trunk with the 2-tap of this button. Very, very good. I don't believe there's a way to do it from the outside. Hold this for the tailgate, lighting controls, parking, and the traction control there. Then we have our digital gauge cluster. It looks really, really clean and refined. This is kind of the modern setting. You can have like there's 2 other themes, but this one is the best looking one. It'll also kind of switch up based on what mode you're in. So this is what eco mode looks like. This is normal. Sport mode actually looks really, really cool. It's actually my favorite one to look at. It's very nice. And then you also have normal, and you also have terrain modes, snow, mud, and sand. You can also see my range changing on the right there. So if I put in eco, I go up to 508 kilometers and 95%. Normal, 493. Sport, 497. And my drive, 493, because it's just normal. I don't have the terrain in it. So usually I'm just driving in normal. And then obviously we have our paddle shifters. That's to adjust your regen braking. So you can see a little thing right there. So I'm going to put it all the way up. That's iPedal, and that will be one pedal driving. That's how you're going to engage that on all the IONIQ products, all the new ones. That's how you do it. You're going to control it with the paddle shifters. Now, what I also really enjoy is this gear shifter right here. I'll kind of stick it through here, the camera. Start, stop button right there, because what are you going to do? Put it in park, turn it off usually, or put it in, or start it, put it in drive, or reverse, whatever. It's just in a really good space. Instead of taking up dash space, you put it right there. Really cool. Then obviously the park button is right here. Digital infotainment display, nothing too crazy. I do wish there was maybe some type of control knob here, because this is kind of far for me because I sit a little bit further back. It's the standard, new age Hyundai infotainment display. Very good. I like it a lot, actually. The maps, there's the map there. You've got your EV thing here where you can see where the closest charger is, stuff like this. You can kind of see different things, battery usage, all that stuff is here. But I like how simple it is. It's really plug and play, right? Like I can mess with the seats a little bit too. I can turn on the heated seats back there. I can turn on the ventilation back there. So that's really good. I can change the airflow. I can actually recline the all of this stuff from here. That's really cool. Look at that. You can do all that stuff from this screen, which is very, very useful if you don't want to like go back there and mess with it, right? And this is just easy to understand. You can have a weather app. It's got wireless Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. It can set up things with the different vehicle here. Really, everything you need is here. Yeah, I mean, it maybe will take about 10, 15 minutes, and you'll kind of get the grasp of it. It's really not complicated, and I really, really like that because it's a big EV, right? And you don't want to really spend too much time fiddling with the screen. And why don't you have to fiddle with the screen too much? Because we have a decent amount of physical buttons, as well as like this like mini touch screen down here, which, you know, I'm never like missing it or I'm never stressing about it. It's always there. I can control the rear climate from there as well, which is very good. Front climate, dual zone, automatic up here, so technically it's a tri-zone because of the back too. We have heated seats, heated steering, as well as ventilated seats. That's very nice. I can control the airflow from here. These knobs feel pretty premium. This volume control also feels premium as well, so I like that as well. Over here you can see we've got like the calligraphy trim, so it's got like this nice exposed wood. There's a little shelf here. You can't really see it too well on camera, and then you pull this down for the glove compartment, standard stuff. Of course, the passenger seat also has the recliner as well, but obviously when you have the baby seat, I don't know if it will work, but that's fine. It's kind of a small compromise that you would use, but I think if it moved back enough, you probably could get it to work. So the passenger seat is pretty much the same. It's got the heated and ventilation, really, really comfortable. I love this breathable leather, very, very nice. Moving on to our center console, this is where you're gonna change your drive mode, and you're gonna push it to change over to the terrain. Got cup holders, a nice wireless charger here, the button for the 360-degree camera. It's really, really nice. It gives you a full 3D render of your IONIQ 9. It's a big vehicle, so all these cameras and sensors definitely help. Now, let me show you the part where I was talking about. So say I want this out of the way. What I can do is actually move that completely out of the way. And I mean, look how much space that it provides. And then you can, you know, access a little bit better the shelving down here. This is one of the adapters that Hyundai will provide for the NACS adapters. So you can use pretty much any charger. And then this is going to be for the bigger wattage ones, quite a heavy one here. This one is also the NACS adapter for that. So you're pretty set here, and that's a good little storage for them there. They don't really fly around too much, so that's nice. But yeah, I mean, like, you could see the other person's feet here. It reminds me of like the first iteration of the IONIQ 5 where, you know, there was basically nothing in between here. Then, you know, once they're done, you could yank it back and bam, it locks into position. This is not flying around when I'm driving. And then also I could lift up this side, like I said, as well as the other side. I love that. We saw this in the Santa Fe and it worked really well. I've also got a digital rear view mirror. You can see, really nice there. I like that, and a decent amount of ambient lighting all throughout. So really hard to complain about this thing. It is a really, really solid package here. And also, look at this. 100 watt max. So these are high output USB-Cs, and there's some on the back seats too here, which is really cool. So yeah, like they've just thought of everything. They've really, to me, they've really thought of the road trip and the usability. And this IONIQ 9 is for people who are going to be spending a lot of time in their vehicle, because, you know, like I'm sitting in front of what looks like a soccer practice or a couple of soccer games going on. You might be spending a lot of time at those things with multiple kids, friends of, you know, whatever. You are going to be in here a lot. It's going to have to have the snack needs. It's going to have all of that stuff. And you know what? You're just going to use it, and it's very usable. The usability of this thing is easy, it's simple, it's stress-free, and I think Hyundai have done an excellent job of that. So really, really hats off to them. Great job in terms of usability. I'm such a fan of how good this interior is. But of course, I want to know what you think, so let me know in the comments, and let me strap that GoPro right to my forehead. Let's take it for a drive. All right, so on the road now, 2026 Hyundai IONIQ 9. Oh man, like we're like approaching the end of the week here. Yes, I have my shorts on now. It was blazing hot in those pants. Please don't judge me. But like, it is so easy to live and drive this thing. Oh my goodness. Like, that is where the selling point is. Forget style, forget, like, it's just so convenient. And I feel like in this price point, people that can afford, you know, a vehicle in this price point, that's kind of what you're looking for. And you're not looking for a sporty EV, really. You're just looking for something that gets the job done right, has a ton of features, and is really, really convenient. And the IONIQ 9 is off the scale convenience levels. It is ridiculous how convenient the thing, and it just rides so smoothly. It rides above its weight class, if that makes sense. It rides like, you know, not as good as a Range Rover, but it's knocking on the door, and which that's impressive. Like, I've driven quite a few Range Rovers by this point to be able to kind of, you know, say that. And this thing, like, it doesn't delete all the bumps like a Range Rover. Range Rover feels like you're floating above the air, like you're not even, or you're above the road, you're not even touching it. The IONIQ 9 feels like, you know, you're just in a really, really high-end luxury SUV, and that's really, really cool. And it's also quick. It's got just over 400 horsepower. This is the all-wheel drive plus model. Let's give it a little bit of beams here. Oh yeah, that's no problem. Yeah. It's gonna get the job done. I mean, a 3-row doesn't necessarily need to be quick, and like I always say with EVs, there's definitely levels to it. This is probably like somewhere in the middle because it is a really big vehicle, so over 400 horsepower doesn't feel like all that much because, well, we have all this weight and all this girth to pick up and go, but it's a really aerodynamic vehicle as well. So like there's a lot less drag than something like the Kia EV9 and stuff like that. So, you know, all like the rounded off edges and things that might, you know, make people think like, oh, it doesn't look that great. It looks too round. It doesn't look, you know, doesn't have aggressive lines. Well, all those things are actually helping its drag coefficiency. And that's what you really want, A, out of an EV vehicle, and B, out of something you want to be moderately fast. Drag is slow, right? So you don't really want that. In terms of handling, in sport mode, it definitely does stiffen up. It's not the most connected feel in the world, but again, this is your mall crawler, you know, your road tripper. You don't really need it. You don't need to feel what the left and right tire are doing at all times. I think one thing though, like just because it is more of a bigger vehicle, it does drive kind of big to me at times, especially in those tight spaces. I think one thing would be cool in the future calligraphy terms, maybe in 27, 28, would be to see some rear wheel steering in here. I know that's a very high-end thing to ask for and it's only happening, but I feel like Hyundai could figure out a way to implement it, even if it's like a slight little movement. It would just make maneuvering in like tight spaces a lot easier with a bigger 3-row. That's just a thought. Definitely not something that like is a knock against it, a knock against the IONIQ 9. You will absolutely be able to, you know, get in and out of tight spaces with just the basic steering it has, but rear wheel steering could be pretty cool here. And the seats are also extremely comfortable. I feel like I could do a super long road trip in here and just not be uncomfortable. Not to mention that the driver's seat has massage seats and it will kind of activate. I think after like an hour or so of driving, it'll actually activate itself, and you know, you get like a little massage just to keep your back and your shoulders from hurting and stuff. So it's one of those features that usually is only found on like Genesis stuff, and now it's trickled into the higher end Hyundais, and I really, really enjoy it for that. And we've got elite lane centering assist, really good adaptive cruise control. Hyundai and Kia are both very good at this, and the IONIQ 9 is absolutely no exception to that. It's just like, it's just a breeze, right? Digital rear view mirror as well, as I'm getting blinded by the sun. Holy goodness. It's just, but there's almost no blind spots either, which I found really, really good. Like, you know, I've got big mirrors, I've got big back windows, I've got the turn signal little camera that you can use as well. So like, there's like literally no blind spot. There's no excuse for cutting people off in this. Like you can't be a bad driver. I mean, Hyundai has done everything to make a big vehicle very accessible to bad drivers. People that don't check their blind spot, there's a camera there. It's probably going to catch it. If not, we do have blind spot monitoring as well. Like there's all these, you know, safety features for, I guess, the less qualified drivers out there. I'm glad I stayed in sport mode because let's do it again. It's like an absolute blast off. It's crazy. For a 3-row to move this quickly, I mean, you don't need any more power than this. It's just really cool. You can also configure it in like a white interior if you want. Obviously with kids, I think the black would probably last the test of time a little better. That's just me though. And like, it's such a lounger too. Like I could sit in the passenger seat if I want, if my baby seat wasn't in there, and I could just lounge out in this thing. Like just no problem at all. I just think that, yeah, they've thought of the road trip and they thought of the families. And they're really, really targeting that demographic aggressively, kind of like the Santa Fe does. I got the same vibe there. Big 3-row, bigger families, bigger needs. They hit it all really well. you know, they know that you're going to be driving to and from hockey practice with this thing here in Canada, or like soccer practice, whatever it is. They know you're going to do all those things, and they've made it really, really easy to do so with the storage, with space, with the way it drives. And I'm not like, and it's not like I'm ashamed to drive a minivan, or I think people that drive minivans are I'm just not a fan of it. I just don't like it. So I'd rather drive something like this instead. Although, like, the starting price of this, I think it's around like $60,000 Canadian, and the starting price for a Toyota Sienna is like 51. So you are paying quite a bit more for this, but then again, it's an EV, so the gas savings maybe equal you out a little bit. I don't know. It's a tough call there with van versus three-row SUV. I'm going three-row SUV, specifically in the electric market. I think I'm going here. You know, I haven't seen the ID Buzz yet. Hopefully I will be able to. But yeah, like, it's something. It's really something they've got here. It's a great platform. Hyundai always impresses. Like, it's, you know, I wasn't sure about how they would do with an electric SUV. The IONIQ 5 nailed it. Sedan, wasn't sure. There's not much of a market for the sedan. The IONIQ 6 nailed it. You see them everywhere. Speaking of IONIQ 5, there you go. One in the driveway. That's a lot. There's a lot of them around here in Quebec. The IONIQ 9, I don't expect to see that many just because of the price point, but you will see quite a few. You'll see more IONIQ 9s on the road, hopefully, than you'll see the Kia EV9, and you'll probably see way more of both of those vehicles than you'll ever see a Cadillac Escalade IQ, or, you know, probably the ID Buzz as well, because it's quite a high price point there as well, quite a big level of entry and stuff like that. So yeah, and look, I'm sitting at 83% of state of charge, and I've got 474 kilometers still. And I'm using the one pedal driving. I have it on iPedal, which is, you know, I'm only using one foot. It'll completely stop with just my one foot here. And that is the way that I think I really like the iPedal and all the IONIQ products. And I think that adds to a lot of efficiency as well. You can, you know, turn on the AC, or you can turn on the driver only to improve it. And Hyundai, like, so if I turn on driver only, you can see my range will jump up to 502 kilometers, right? So that's crazy. If I turn my ventilated seats off, no, that does nothing. But like, there are certain things that you can do, and you can see the range will immediately start to jump up or down based off what you do. So that's really cool, because that driver only turns off the passenger's air and the rear air, so it's just cooling the driver right now. And I'm the only person in the vehicle. I'm the only one that needs to be cooled. So I can save a bunch of range and efficiency just simply by doing that. And it's things like that that make it really cool. And also the little LEDs on the steering wheel. And yeah, I mean, I'm just a fan of the way this thing drives. It's just seamless. Think, if you want to know how the IONIQ 9 is to drive, think a seamless experience. You hop in, you drive, there's no questions, there's no things weird. I'm not digging through menus, there's no glitches. It's not all controlled by software. It's, you know, feels like a three-row SUV as much as a three-row SUV can, and it just feels really good to drive all the time. And it's a great family car. That's the kind of point I want to drive across there. The price point, yes, it is expensive, and I think that's probably its biggest negative. That's probably its biggest pain point, is the fact that it's not going to be accessible to a lot of the people that would like to access it, if that makes sense. A lot of people have big families, big needs, but they maybe don't have the budget to afford a vehicle like this, to drop, like, especially this one is in the 80s, or even this, the starting is like 60. Yes, the range is good, the space is good on all of them, the tech is good on all of them, but when you get to talking about money, sometimes it gets difficult, and I just feel like that's why we won't see as many as we should on the road. But if that's his biggest pain point, Hyundai's got a good product, and they can maybe play with pricing over time and hopefully get more people behind the wheel of these things, because that's what it deserves to be. So that's going to be about it for everything I wanted to show you for the Hyundai IONIQ 9. Let me know what you think in the comments of this thing. I think it's really cool. I've had such a great week with it, such a great time with it, such an easy time. Again, that's one of the things. It is easy, simply easy. They didn't reinvent the wheel in any sense of the matter. They actually made things better, and that is what you're supposed to do when you create a new platform. Hyundai, you've done a great job. Nail on the head once again. You never fail to disappoint me in this kind of category. Hopefully they could do something with the price. Hopefully, you know, you can find a dealer that could give it to you at a good deal, and you get behind the wheel of one of these things if it piques your interest. Let me know what you think about the design, the driving, the interior design, everything in between, and especially the price point here in Canada. I want to hear your thoughts. Make sure you like, subscribe if you want to see more videos just like this. You want to see more Hyundais on the channel. I'll see you in the next week. See you in the next car. Take care. This right here is the 2026 Hyundai IONIQ 9, Hyundai's newest entry into its wait, because then it beeped right after. I'll do that again.